everybody. In today's class, we will see system programming in that chapter 5 loader. We discussed with the introduction of loader. Loader is nothing but it's a program which helps to load the program to main memory and make ready it for execution, right? So we already discussed with different schemes. In that, compile go was the first one, where assembler is also kept in a memory and it convert and place the converted program in memory itself. So loader does not have any much work. It just transfer the control to the start location and prepare it for the execution. So but there was a drawback that assembler kills the memory. So we went with the general loading scheme. Means the translator or assembler provide the object program in a secondary memory, and loader is a very small program which will be in a main memory, and it will load the converted source program, that is what object program, into the memory. So general loading scheme was in that manner. So according to that, it simply load, but whenever it load, it will load to the particular location which has been specified by the translator. It doesn't change the location. Then that kind of a loader, we call it as a absolute loader, right? We have discussed one example with the absolute loader. This was the main program we had, and this is what the sub program. So main program will be loaded. It is telling that it should load in a location 100, means programmer itself telling assembler convert and stores in a 100 location. Same location in a main memory, it is loaded to the location 100. You can see that absolute loader locate to the 100 wherever you have main told main is in a 100, and your subroutine it starts in a 400. So it's only tell, that is translator or a programmer only specify the location. So that location, for the absolute location, it is loaded. Then that kind of a loader is called as absolute loader, because here loading address is specified by the translator. So it's called as a translator based loading. So that type of whatever a translator is telling for that particular location, if it is loaded, then that loading concept is done by the loader name absolute loader. It is nothing but loading to the location specified by a translator. Nothing translation origin. Translation origin specify that object program of a main or a square root should be loaded for 100 and 400. It is exactly loaded for 100 and a 400. Yeah, so that kind of the thing is absolute loader. So in this we have discussed how the absolute loader will load. Loader will load from 100 to the maximum requirement of a memory for the main program is 100 to 248. That is what 148 is the length required for the main, as well as for the square root 400 to 478, means 78. That is what 400 to 478 is the storage used by the square root. So that storage is stored in the main memory. But and we know that it's a main function which is calling the square root function, right? And we already discussed that absolute loader, what it will do, it will start reading each line and it starts loading, and at the end it will get a transfer card. These are the text card, transfer card, which will transfer the control to the start position, right? So it's loaded in the location specified by the translator. So translator specified location, if it is loaded, then it is called as a work of a absolute loader. Clear? So we are loaded to 100 and 400, and memory used was 248. Imagine we have changed the main program. If we increase the space by another 300, then definitely it will overlap over here. But we already in our program specified the storage as square root should be loaded to the location 400. But if we change over here, then again I need to change the square root memory location. Means whenever I change a main program, the subprogram routine function should be changed, unless it will overlap one another. So I have two tasks to do. I need to change the main, again I need to change the square root. But our C++ C programming it is nothing but changing a one module does not affect the other module, right? But here what happened, if we or the user or a translator specify the address, then definitely there may be a chance of overlapping, because you can see that here this is the start address we have told. So linking this program and this program is done using, so you can calling a square root. How we are calling a square root using a base register 15. We are loading the address of a square root. Address of a square root we already specified in the main, that is in a 400. So 400 is allotted to the square root. Yeah, means we have to change over here. If overlap happens, again we need to change, we need to reallocate this again, which is a lengthier process, because the address, whatever we are specifying, assembler or a translator, it will be fixed in the absolute loader. So we need to know about the address, one thing, which is a very difficult task. And second thing is we need to change everything if you have an overlapping order. That's the drawback, right? So we already discussed with the two drawbacks. So that is what the drawback. The working is simple, that is directly, don't want to know about where the symbol is, where to be control to be passed, nothing, directly 400, control will be directly passed to 400. It is not like a symbol, where is the symbol, yeah, where the symbol is, what is the address of a symbol, finding the address of a symbol, then calling that function to that symbol, then jumping from, those tasks are not there. It is directly it is telling that load the address 400, it will load and it will jump over here, it will work on that. BR14 we have, 14 is a register which is saved for storing the return address. Automatically it will store whenever it jump from here, the return address, maybe it is a 1 2 3 4 5 6, imagine 10th line, 9th line was this, 10th line, immediately this 14 will have that line and it will return over here. Clear? Whenever you will jump, so you can check BALR help me to jump for the base address have the 400, base register 15, 15, base register 15, and 14 have the return address will be stored automatically. So whenever it executes, it come back to the return address. This is how we are implementing the function calls. But remembering the address is a difficult task. And also one main drawback we had is here, programmer should specify the memory location, which is very difficult to remember the memory location, because symbol, if we just have a symbol and we are calling us using a function using a symbol, it is much easier than having a address, right? And if you have a multiple subroutine, all the address should be remembered. Here only two subroutine, 100 and 400 anyhow. If I have 10 subroutine, all the subroutine address can you remember? No, we cannot remember. But all the name of a subroutine, yes, a.read, a.display, a.call function, I can remember the name instead of a address. So we had avoided this using of a address. We are not taking out the absolute loader, but we have just changed here how is, instead of using the numbers, that is what address, instead of using the address, we are using the symbols. Clear? So that is done. That's what the next routine, subroutine linkage. Next topic, subroutine linkage. Subroutine linkage means you in a program you may have subprograms. How you link the subprogram? How you link, for example, fact in a main program, you will call the main function, right? In your main function, whatever you will have, you will inside that you will write a fact, right? So and you will call a fact function, right? You will write as a name itself, you will write fact and you will call the fact function. So whenever you use the fact function, you will call fact a symbol. This is a symbol you used, right? So almost always a symbol followed by a brackets, we call it as a function, right? You'll use a fact in your main program, and whenever you'll call a fact function, the control is jumped for the subroutine fact. This is what a high level language, but we are in assembly level language, so how it has been done. So normally here, this is what the problem we face in a subroutine in a previous is, in a main program A, there are subprogram B. Imagine there is a statement called BALR 14, B. B is a base register with the address of the B program. So you can see in the previous address of the B, that is what a 14, B. B in the sense 15. 15 has the address of it is a load address of square root. Square root address is a 400. It is loaded in a, means you have a next function's address, and which B transfers the instruction, right? Assembler does not know the address of a B because B is some other function. There it has been declared. If suppose we don't know, if it is an external, then we don't know the symbol address, right? Because we are calling it outside the function, main function, then I don't know where is the address of that symbol, right? So that time assembler define it as an undefined symbol, then it's an error, right? So there, and in your program there may be one program there may be set of subprograms, right? In set of subprograms there should be a local definition program and external set of some program. One variable will be represented in one function and another variable may be represented in the another function. That time here it may be the local, whereas if it called from the outside in another function, then it's an external, right? So then I need to have the connection between external and the local definitions, right? We have two types of variables, one is external variables and a local variables. So to perform this, what assembler did, it used a pseudo op, one as extern and one as entry. These are the two pseudo ops, yeah, which extern use for external to define, these are the external symbols, whereas entry is used to define the local symbols. You know, nowadays we in a high level language, if you write within a bracket then it is an local, if you write outside then it's an external, right? So to link subroutines means to link one function with another function, normally we do using a symbol. In a main function we use a fact, this fact help to link with the fact function, right? So to link between two functions we use normally symbols. So here in a pseudo assembly we use extern and entry. That is what it is, a mechanism of having a direct linking loader. To understand direct linking, clear, how to link between the main and the subroutine, direct linking, it's a direct linking using extern and the entry. To understand, this is the task of another loader, it is called as a direct linking loader, absolute loader, not absolute loader, direct linking loader. To understand direct linking loader, first we need to know about the relocate loader. Who are the relocate loader? What is linking means? Then we'll go with the direct linking. Clear? What is relocating loaders? What is linking? What is relocation? Then only I can tell that what is the direct linking. Clear? Pseudo op extern entry is used to solve the problem of a subroutine. That is nothing but the external and the local variables. This is the mechanism implemented by a direct link loader. So second type of a loader came, direct linking. To understand that, first we'll go with the what is relocating loaders, what is linking, what is relocations. Clear? So first, what is linking? Linking means it is a process of binding external reference. What are the external variables you have? Means outside the function. Those are called as external. Then process of binding that external to your program during execution, because assembler doesn't know, assembler know whatever stored inside that. Some of the functions are called outside, then it doesn't know what the address of that outside external reference, then it need to be linked whenever you are executing. That binding, that connection is a process of linking. Yeah, so we can tell that external reference is unsolved until it is linked. Once it is linking process is done, we can tell that all the external process is solved. It is resolved when linking is completed. Means all the external variables are linked. It is reference to the loaded address. Binding is over. Then we can tell that all the external reference variables are solved. Yeah. So how it is performed? First two pseudo op, that is what entry and extern. So this is entry and extern is used to solve the problem of subroutine, that is linking between the two subroutines. Understood? So this is 2 marks question. What is the use of extern and intern statement, or explain in detail. Explain in detail is a 5 marks question. Individually if it is asked, it is 2 marks question. And what is the use of that? It is the use of to solve the problem of subroutine linkaging. Yeah. So entry is nothing but it define all the local symbols used in your systems, and it will be written using a pseudo op entry followed by the symbols. This is the local, this is the local symbols. Means it has been defined in the same program. Yeah. Whereas external means these are the symbol referring to the outside. External means it doesn't defined in the program but referred over here. So these symbols are represented using the pseudo op extern followed by this symbol. These two symbols are called in the program but referred in the program, but it has been defined in somewhere, means it is external to that program. Before execution you need to have linking all the external to the load address should be done. Else it will find, at the end we'll find that the symbol address is not found. Yeah. So which are external doesn't known by the assembler. Only internal means local address is known by the assembler. The external address is not known by the assembler. That linking and providing to the particular address, giving the particular load address is the work of a loader. So assembler just tells that these are the symbols which has a external reference. You need to get the symbols. You need to resolve the external symbols address. Clear? That work is done by a linker and a loader. Only external. Local address all are known by the translator. It only specifies the local address. Whereas external, it tells, assembler tells the loader that these are the external symbols and doesn't know the symbol address. It will implicitly specify 000 for the address. Clear? Whatever the external you have, it will simply represent as 000, means it doesn't know the symbol address. I don't know the symbol address. Wherever the zeros are there, it is an intimation to the loader that these are the external symbols, and assembler doesn't know the address of the external symbol. Clear? So you can see assembler tells the loader that these symbols are external and loader should resolve that external symbol. Clear? So to understand, that is what a direct, it is done during a runtime. Loader comes during running, means during loading to the main memory. So that time it directly link all the externals and it directly run the program. Clear? For example, enter a number. You will enter 1. That 1 will be matched to the scanf statement. In that, whatever you will write, ampersand A, you will write. So for that location, this 1 will be stored. This is what externally means. You don't know the value of A. It is linking whenever it is running. These tasks are done by the loader. So it is called as direct linking. On the spot linking. So it's called as a direct linking. To understand direct linking, first we'll know about what is relocator, what is linking means. Yeah. So this is what the main external and a small program is given. Here you can see that there we had given the subroutine address, subroutine. So this is the main program, and you are having one more program, square root program. Square root, the name given as subroot. Clear? So main program, there we have specified that address is address of square root, and in the end we have specified that the address of the square root is, we have told that here load 15 comma a of square root. That address we have specified that a square root is 400. But here we are calling the function, we are calling the function name, we are calling this function name of a function, that is subroot, and this function does not know what is the symbol of a what is the address of a subroot, because subroot is a function which is called outside. This is what the subroot outside function which is written after the main program. Means end means you have a close bracket, means subroutine subroot address is here, it is referred, but it address is somewhere outside, means assembler doesn't know. It will represent subroot is equal to 00. This is the symbol. It itself tells that extern means the symbol is referred externally, but address is not known. So assembler what it will do, it will assign 00 for subroutine and specify the loader that subroutine address is don't know. We don't know the address of the subroutine because it is a external function. So you are loading that external function subroutine. When you call over here subroutine function, the address of a subroutine is loaded to 15, and this statement you know that you need to jump to the 15th location, because you are calling a function, you need to load for the location 15, location of address stored in the register 15, base register. Base is loaded with the address of a subroutine function, base register, and 14 is nothing but it holds the return address. So 14 is holding the return address. 15, it is the base address of a subroutine. So it will directly jump to the base subroutine here. So base address is stored in the 15. So explicitly again I don't want to specify the start location address because base is stored in the 15. So base I got, what is the base plus 1 is the next line number, base plus 2 is the next line number. So I don't want to have the address, start address of the subroutine. Over here BR14, after execution before end, it should come back to the main program. So 14 has the return address, it will come back to it and it will execute the program. So this is how external programs are called, and the same rule we use in a C++ also. We use the externals function which is not defined over here but referred over here. The definition is outside. Clear? So whenever we call, automatically it starts in the first line because the base address is stored. So address is stored in the base register. Base register always points to the start line, right? And then base register will have the start line. Base register plus offset gives me the second line. Base register to the offset, third line, that continues, right? So this is what the explanation. So in the above, it is a subroute is a declared externally to and not defined by the main. Means assembler doesn't know the address of the subroutine. So address of a subroutine is loaded to register 515, and BALR, it helps to branch to the register content of a register 15, means branching to the subroutine, and leaves the return address in the register 14. Yeah? So here we can implement this using a macro also. Means instead of calling a function going out, we can just call a macro. Macro is very easy. It will go for macro processor and call and get the lines of the macros and again execute. But we already discussed the difference between the subroutine and the macro. Macro, it want expansion, then it executes. So it's a slow process, whereas here it is a it go execute and come back. So subroutine is a fast, right? So it can be simply by calling a subroutine macro also. Where we can do using a macro. Instead of calling a function, we can call a macro, but it kills the time because it wants an expansion, then it executes. Whereas subroutine, it jumps, it passes the control to the subprogram, it executes and come back. Again, there is no expansion, it don't kill the time. So we use programs, subprograms or the subroutines. Yeah. So this is what a register 15 is used for the linking. Means register 15 has a base register which helps to jump me to the subroutine function. So it helps for the linkage, external reference. So it is used as a subroutine linkage as well as a base. Both we use. Base means it starts from the start line and also it helps to jump to that statement, right? So it used for the subroutine linking. It used in the linkage as well as it used as a base. Yeah. So here we already 15 has the base. So explicitly again denote not to load the base register with the address of the start. That's what the subroutine function. Again explicitly I don't want to specify this start location because already the start function, subroutine function's start base address is loaded in a 15 in a calling function. Here only we have loaded. So explicitly again we don't want to specify the start address or a base address. Yeah. Register 14 have the return address which will be help to come back to the return address. Clear? Again here we have in a BLR statement, that was register 15, we already stored with the start address of a subroutine function. So explicitly no need of loading the base registers. Clear? And here BR is unconditional. After BR 14 statement is an unconditional branch. After execution, whatever the content in the register 14, for that it will return. So 14 is a mandatory thing we have used to have a return address for any function call. So 14 is used to return address. BALR, in that also we use the 14. Here we store the return address line number. PC has the line number, we will store it and we'll jump to the 15. And over here when BR encounter, it's a branch unconditionally to the register 14. BR branch unconditional to the register 14, so it will go for the return address. So this was the explanation of this program. Yeah. So using a subprograms or subroutine, we can have common coding because writing one program, that's what the use of a subprogram or a functions, right? We can use one program multiple times. So some common coding is there and it is very convenient to relate. Clear? And also it is a better access to the common database. If you have a fact, if you want that fact function for n number of time, then it is better. Write a subfunction and call, keep on calling. So that is what the use of multiple entry points. Multiple entry points is nothing but it's a use of function. What is the use of subroutine? You can have the heading or if question asks us what is the use of a subroutine, you can tell that common coding we can do. We can have the allow the convenience. We can have the common access to the database. So that's what the use of a function you know in a C++. So next is so whenever we are subroutine, I told that it is implemented using external and intern. So external and internal perform, external and entry, right? So before knowing all those, direct linking will perform, I told. So before knowing direct linking, we need to know about the reallocation and the linking, right? So we'll go first one, relocation. What is this relocation? Relocation means it is modifying the address of a address sensitive instruction. It is modifying the address of address sensitive instruction. Means we have written a source program over here and we are placing object program. Means here we have changed the state, means we are changing the address. You might have remember here CC++, that is CPP is your program. After that you have stored object program, then you will have exe file program. Means it is not overlapped one above the other. You have a CPP program, you have object program, and then you have executable program. Then this address is different, this address is different, this address is different. Here one address, you are relocating that to the other, you are relocating with that the other. That is called as relocation. So definitely your object program, source program is converted to object program, then it is loaded. So there is a reallocation. So what is the reallocation? Reallocation is nothing but modifying the address of address sensitive instructions of a program. Clear? So that it should be in a designated memory. So who will perform this? So in the previous, the chapter starts there, I told that source program is given to translator, he gives the object program. Object program is taken by the linker, he gives the binary program. Binary program is taken by the loader and load to the main memory. I hope you remember that diagram. In the first, check your textbook, you have in your textbook. Yeah. So you write a program and you give the translator, assembler. Assembler gives the object program. That object program is taken by the linker and he plays the same object program in a memory, then it's an absolute program. Means he is not changing the address. If he change the address and he create one more address, executable file, and he load only executable file, then it is relocation. Then it is called as a relocate loader. Clear? If a program, source program written and it is converted by the to the object program, same object program taken and placed in your memory, then it is absolute loader. If a CPP program is created and translated object file is created and again and one more binary program, exe program is created and loading this, then it is relocator. He is not loading the same address, he is relocating with the some other address and then he is loading. So that is called as relocate loader. That is performed by one more loader, relocate loader. Yeah, so you can see that loader which do not perform differences in a load origin and a link origin. Means object will give, a link will take same. If he load, then those are called as absolute loader. Clear? If a loader perform reallocation, means object program will be there, he will create a exe file, means he create one more binary frame and load that one, then that is called as relocate loader. Yeah, so we can tell that if link origin is not equal to translated origin, then it is performed by a linker. Clear? And if load origin is not equal to link origin, then it is the changes made by a loader. So this I hope you remember, or will check that diagram, consider that. So this is what the diagram. So here check. If a translator, source program is given translator and translator create an object program. If same object program is loaded to the memory, then it's absolute loader. If this is object program, imagine he translated and he has created an object program in the location 500 and same location is loaded in a 500, then it's absolute loader. If it takes by linker, means loading linker and it will load it in a 500. Here loading linker task will happen. If linker and loader work are differentiated and object program is taken and again it has created an object program, binary program, means here it is a 500 and it is created in a somewhere in the location, imagine 300, and it is loaded, means it reallocate the address. Here 500 means here 300, here 501, second line means here 301, because it changed the address, and this is loaded, then it is relocate loader. Yeah. So if translator address is not equal to linker address, then the address, new address created by whom? Linker. If linker address is not equal to loader address, then new address, loading done with the loader and new address he has done. He left 300, he loaded with them for some other address. Imagine 900. Then that address is given by whom? Loader, not the linker. So translate address is not equal to linker, then linker is done the differentiation. If linker address is not equal to loader, then loader has given some other address and he has reallocated. So translated given 500 for the object program. Same if loaded by linker and loader to the 500, then it is the absolute loader. How it was? The same location. There is no change for any of the symbols, any of the line. Here 500, here also 500, here 501, here also 501. But if it is taken by the linker and change the address, then this is called relocate loader. Second scheme of a loading. N number of loaders are there. So this what change the address and it is loading. Right, so it's changed the address and it is loaded. Again, if loader changed to some other 900, then that is the address of a loader. So if it is not equal to this, then that address is given by the linker. If this is not equal to loader, then the address is given by the loader. So that's what here we had given. If translator link address is not equal to translate, then the relocation is done by the linker. If load address is not equal to linker, then relocation is done by the loader. Clear? If loader do not do any changes and same whatever the link address is given, same if it is load, then it is called as absolute. If there is a changes, then it is called as a relocate loader. So if there is a change, then what is the address? We need to calculate, right? So to calculate that, we use relocation factor. So to understand relocation factors, let us take. There is a translation and origin and load origin of a program. Loader give one origin, translated origin is 500, load origin is 900. Imagine, means relocate loader we are considering, absolute we already dealt with, right? So then we'll consider as a T origin and L origin. T origin is 500, L origin is 900, means we had relocated. Now 500 was a translator given, linker given, but we changed to 900, means all the location should be relocated, right? And consider any symbol we had in a translation. While translating, if a symbol is in 504 but loading, it should become in a 904, right? So then you need to, because while loading you are changing the address to 900, then wherever you have a 500 you have changed to 900, right? Then the symbol in a 504 should be changed to 904, right? So then how to calculate this? So consider a symbol, then translated symbols is represented as T symbol and load time R symbol is represented as L symbol. So translator time symbol, T symbol is 504, then L symbol should be 904. So how to calculate this? So it is calculated using relocation factor P. So relocation factor is a difference between the translation and the your load address. So what is the difference? The factor or a definition. So this is 2 marks definition. What is the definition? Definition is it's a difference between T origin and the load origin. Even if you get the positive, negative, 0 doesn't matter. It can be positive, negative, 0, but we'll take only the positive. If you have a negative, we'll leave that. Yeah, so positive. So you can see that I told translation origin is 500. Load origin is 900, means we translated in the location 500, while loading it is loaded to 500. 900 minus 500, you got location is 400. How much you got? You got that as 400, right? So if a program symbol is in a 504, if I add with the relocation factor, that is what 400. 504 plus 400, how much you will get? 504 plus 400, how much you will get? 504 plus 400 is nothing but you will get 904, right? We'll have a calculator so that you can understand it properly, as we don't have a board. Yeah. So translation relocation factor we'll find out. Relocation factor, how? We have a formula. A formula is given. So what is the formula given? Formula is translation origin minus load origin. So translated origin is 500 minus load origin. Load origin is 900. So how much you will get? Relocation factor as minus 400, but it doesn't matter if it is a negative. Take it as a positive 400. Clear? So T symbols. Then what is the T symbol? T origin plus the offset. So imagine T origin is 500 and T symbol offset. Fourth line we have one symbol. Then 500 plus 4. So what is the symbol of a T symbol? 504, right? Then load symbol should be, that should be load origin 900 plus, again it will be in a fourth line, then it is a what, 900 plus 4, again it will be 904. Clear? We'll consider this 2 with, we'll use this with the 1. This is the first one, relocation factor 1. We are using 2 3. So using 1 here, we can have in the place of L origin, I can write it as, here L origin, I can write it as, take this left hand side and take this right hand side. L origin is nothing but T origin minus relocation factor. Take this and this over here. T origin minus relocation. L origin means T origin minus relocation factor. That's what I have written over here. Clear? So L symbol is equal to, here consider this, T origin plus D symbol is nothing but a T symbol. So T symbol minus relocation factor. So how much we got? T symbol is nothing but 504 minus relocation factor, we got minus 400. 504 minus of minus, it is plus 400. 504 plus 400, 904 is the load symbol. So this is what, how we calculate your load relocated symbol. So relocate symbol should be 904. It is calculated as T symbol minus relocation, then relocation if I got it as minus 400, minus into minus plus 400 with 504, so total is 904. So symbol address when loaded, it is in the new location, it is 904. Obviously it is a 904. So this is how we calculate the relocated address. Yeah. So when relocating is done by the binary program. So what are the things we have in a binary programs? Binary program is nothing but it's a machine program. Binary program means, we'll get over here, this is the binary program. So what are the things we have in a binary program? Binary program, we have set of programs, will have small programs, and we have to, if you have a relocated to the main memory, then relocating factor should be there and load origin should be known, right? So whenever it is relocating, your binary program will call, so you can check binary program, a linker will give. So to get a binary program, we will use a command using a linker, load origin, your object module's name, how many names object program you have, and execution start address. So where load origin is nothing but it specify the, that is what the load origin 900, it linker specify the load, where to load. Clear? That's what the relocate loader will specify. And execute, it's a pair of name, program name and the offset, means line numbers, offset and a program name. What is the program name? So the object program, binary program will be in this manner. Binary program helps the, binary program is given by the linker. So linker, what are the things it gives? It gives the load address, linker will give the load address, and execution start address, means it has the execution start address as two things, that is what, program name and the offset. Offset is nothing but a line numbers, displacement, so that will be D symbols, what we had discussed. So we will get all the translation address which can be added with the relocation factor, so that you can go with the load address, right? L symbols. So object modules, what are the things we are passing to the loader? Object models means the programs, object programs, what are those? It is given by the translator, which is passed to the linker. So what are the things we have in this object program, which all the necessary, means where the execution should start on and how to link the other program, because there should be an external where assembler doesn't know the external program's address, right? So how to, it can be linked. So all those information will be there. So what are the information? It consists 4 things. First one, translation address it will give, and execution start address, and size of a program it will give, and machine program it will give, object program. Yeah, and it will relocate table. A table will begin, relocate means it has all the local variables where whose address is known. Yeah, whose address is known, and what is the relocation area, or means how in the previous checked. If the translation address is 504, then the new relocate address will be 904. How it is? It is adding the relocation factors, right? So those 504 will be in a table, so that if you add with the relocation factor 400, then you will get the load address. So that table we have. So object program gives those. Object program means it is given by the translator. Yeah, so this, it consists a object machine program. It consists the translation origin, means the address 500. This is in a 500. It load 300, then it is 900 if it is the thing. 500 it has, right? And it has size, means the program length, and execution start address definitely from the line number 500, right? Then it has a relocator, means relocate table means it has 500, means you need to add with the relocation factor, so that you will get the load address. So relocate table, clear, which has the single address translator. Next you have a link table. Link table is nothing but it helps for the external references, because assembler doesn't know, it will represent with the zeros and specify the loader that you need to find out the address of an external reference symbol. Clear? So link table has three a field, that is symbol, the name of the external reference, and or the internal local, type whether it is a local or the external, and translator address means if you have a low LD, it will have a first memory word of a LD. Clear? Or it will have the required to contain the address of a external, or if it is external means it will represent as 00, it does not have the address. Clear? So this is what the given. So how the relocation will perform? So that's what the algorithm, relocation algorithm. So how the relocation is nothing but adding the relocation factor, right? So how the relocations will be performed? So relocation is requirement for those which has address sensitive instructions in a computers, right? So it depends on the computer systems, structure of a computer system. Relocation factor of a program are influenced by the addressing structure of a computer system. So how the computer system's architecture is, depending on that it is done, right? So algorithm step number 1, program load address. You will get from the linker command, which we already discussed in a binary, right? Over here we discussed that binary gives us the linked address, right? So it will give us the linked program, load origin, right? So we'll get that from the linker. Next, for the object program, means consider one object program we'll have. I'll just take an example. So this is what the object program have given. So object program tells me that it starts from the location 500, right? So translator address is 500, and size is, imagine this program takes 41 lines, and doesn't create any pseudo op with 41 lines. So we got the size. So in the program we have the size. Relocation factor. So relocation factor is, if it is 500, imagine the load address by the linker, we got 900. 500 minus 900, 400. So relocation factor is 400 we got, which need to be added to get the relocating address, right? Next, we read the machine from the work area. So we'll read machine program in the work area. We in a 500. Read A, right? So we'll read in a 500 area. Read the relocate table. So we'll check whether it's a, we have 500. Yeah, we have 500. This is here. We have a symbol. Then that symbol should be referred somewhere where the address is. A address is in the location 540. Read A means it is reading 1 where you have 540 ADS1, right? So it has the A address is in a 540. So you can see that read command instruction 09 opcode 0. We already discussed these things, conditional codes 0, reading 540, because at the location 500 you want the content of 540. 540 you have 1, right? So we are in a 500 location. So what we are doing, we are in the 5 for each entry. Translator address. What is the translation address of we got is 500. So we will store that 500 in a translate address. Then work area. What we have work area? Work area we are in a work 500 plus 500 work area. Translated address of A is, what is that? 540. I'm sorry, I forgot over here. It's address of a relocate table. Relocate table, it has 540. It's stored in the translated address. Work area where I am working, I am reading the line number 500 where it has a reference to the A. It's the local. A is a local. Clear? A is local, so assembler knows the address of a A. Whereas here maximum and alpha is external, assembler doesn't know. So you can check that it will represent 0. External reference, your assembler doesn't know the address of a external reference, so it will represent it as a 0. Clear? So here A, its address known in the address 540, so it has given as a 540. So how you will relocate this? If these lines we can relocate, because you will add, if 900 was your load address, then 900 minus 500 we already done. Relocation factor is 400. 500 plus 400, it will load for the first line will be loaded in 900. Next 501. 501 plus 400, 901. It loaded. Second line is loaded in the 900. Next 518 we have plus 400, 918. This line is loaded in the 500. But line is loaded, but these areas should be relocated. These are the operand field. Operand field is pointing to 540, but when I load this line will be in the 940. Right? Then when I am running a program, whenever I run read A in the location 900, I need to get the data A from 940, not 540. Then I need to change the operand address field. Also relocation, the operand field should be relocated. Similarly, you can see that the line number of a loop is 500. Right? The line of BC is 538. But over here it should jump to this. Or in a translated absolute locator, what it will do, it will have the same address, so no problem. But relocate, you are relocating entire program to 900. When you relocate entire program to 900, jump to 538 is doesn't matter. You need to jump to the location where the loop in a new area. Right? Whenever you are loaded over there, you are loaded in a 900 location, means the loop will be 901 location. And jump to 538 wrong, or jump to 501 wrong, because your loop is in 901, because you relocated that. Absolute is not like that. You are placing same thing over there, so it's absolute. There is no bother about the relocation. But when you come for the relocating, when you have a external reference, when you want a relocate loader, then entire 500 program you have loaded to 900. So program is loaded. When your program is loaded, if I have this code as 501, definitely it will go for the location 501 where the program is not there. Program is in a 901. So I need to change all this. Yeah, that's what the algorithm says, how to change. So check over here. Translated address. What is the translated address we have? We are in this line. Translated address of A is the changed address 540. So 540 is stored. So work area is 500 plus 540 minus origin of a your translated address 500. 500 minus 540 minus 500. 500 get cancelled, you will get 540. Clear? So you will have a translate work area is 540. Understood? So you will have wherever your work area, you will go to 540. Now you got as a 540 is a work area where you will get a value. Right? So you will get a 540 over here. So whenever you get 540, you need to add that 540 to the check. Relocation factor should be added to the operand field word. So what is the operand field word you have? You have is 540. So you need to have this 540. You need to add this with the relocation factor. Relocation factor is 400. 400 plus 540 is 940. So where you get the value of A, you will get the value of A in 940 instead of 540, because you are relocated. Clear? Similarly, you have one more loop. Loop is also a local. You have an address. So we'll have this. What is the working area? Working area is 538. Right? So working area. So working area, you are working in a working area means you are loaded in a 900 location, you are loaded, and 900 you are loaded with the working area, right? So work area plus translated address is 538 and what do you have? T origin. T origin is 500. 900 plus this is 538 minus 500. 538 minus 500, 38. 900 plus 38, 938. So you will be in a location 938 over here. This is loaded. It's not in a 538. It's in a 938. 938 object in 938. What are the content you have? You have 501. Add this with 4 relocation factor. When you add this with the relocation factor, how much it will? Relocation factor is 400. 400 plus 500, how much? 901. So you want the loop content. Loop content is in 901 because this is the first line. Second line is 901, right? Loop should be back to the 901, not to 501. Clear? So you have here, add relocation factor to the operand address in the word with the address in a work area. So work area, how much you got? 938. You are in a loaded. You are loaded this to 900. Next line 901. Next line 903. Like that. 915, 918, 938, 940, 941. Right. So this is whenever you had come here, 900 is the work area. During work area, you have specified in a specified the code. It is 530. Translator specified as 540. But when loaded, you need to change this to 940. How will do? You need to find the working area. Working area you got as a 900. 900. Whatever the content you have in the 900, that object address, whatever in operand field you have address, that need to be added with the 400 relocation factor. Then you will get 540 plus 400. That is what? A 940. So you can get the value of A in a 940 location. Yeah, these are the loading. So this was the algorithm, 5 marks algorithm, sorry, 8 marks algorithm. Yeah. So example is not required, only algorithm they'll ask. So relocation you understood. Now linking, how to link. So you need to link the program, one program with another program. That is what linking has been in a reference for the external reference, right? So linking means nothing but it is all the program requires a languaging program when C++ program required the linking features, right? So for example, in a Fortran language, here all subprograms are programs translated separately units, so subprogram linking is required. But whereas Pascal, here there is no subprogram, all the program are nested in the main program. So don't want the relocation and the linking because all the program will be in the main program itself, so we won't have a function calls. But in your C++ or in your built-in functions like printf, scanf, those want a linking. So normally a high level language want a linking, so linking is must and should. So what is the linking? Linking is nothing but it's a process of linking the object program. In a program you might have set of object segments. Linking all the segments of the object is the process of we call it as a linking. Yeah, linking is done with the help of searching the symbols. Yeah, so we have fact. Fact is nothing but a symbol. Fact is used to link the factorial program, right? It will search in the table, and where is the address of a fact it will search, and that address is used for the reference for the external, to sort out the external reference, right? So that table used is that linking use a table that is called a name table, NTAV, which has two fields, symbol and the address. So all the symbols will be stored. It may be local or it may be external, and its address is stored. So whenever the linking, it will search for the symbol. Fact is there. Yeah, what is the address? So it will jump to that address and linking perform. Main function and a fan function. Link perform by having this table, because this table have the symbol name and the load address. So whatever the symbol name fact you have, what is the address? Okay, fine. From the main, it will jump to that address. Now main function and a fan function got linking. So this is what happened. Right? So it is also explained using the algorithm. This is a 10 marks algorithm. Yeah. So how the algorithm? So first one, check your textbook. Step number 1, load the load origin. So 900, imagine is the load origin. Again, it is get from the linker command. We have already checked in a binary module, right? Next, you need to get the object program. We'll get object program. Object program translate address. That is what the 500. So previous we had. So 500, right? So this was the one program, object program, and size is 40. So here linking should be done. So this is one program, this is one program, two program we have. Clear? So this is in a translate address is 500, this is the translate address is 200. This requires 41, this requires 31 lines. Clear? So this program is 500 to 41 lines, and this is 200 to 31 lines it required. So you know that one program will be stored from 500 from location 900 to 941, then 942 to it will store the second program, second sub functions, that is 941 plus how many lines a second program required? It required 31. So 941 plus 931 means 972. So both the programs are loaded from the location 900 to 972. Yeah, first program from 900 to 941. Load address 500 to 541 is given, translated address 900 to 941, the whole program. After second program is loaded 942, and from the line required is 231, so 972, the entire two programs are loaded. So this is first program. 500 is a translated origin and the size is 41. Find out the relocation factor, that is what 900 is the load address, 500 minus 900, so how much you will get? 400. Second program, load origin is 942, sorry, translated is 200 and size is 31. Again 200 minus 942, 200 minus 942, you will get the relocation factor. So both the models we have get the origin and the relocation factors. Now read the machine work area. So you are working in the load area is 900. Read the link table. So check whether link table has local or the external. So external you have different, local if you have different. So if you have a local, then find the number name. So local have the address there itself. You will get the translate address of a, that is what a local. A was a local, right? So here A was a local and loop was a local. So how you will get the address? A address is 540 from the table. 540 plus 400. So 940 is its load address. Loop address is 501. 501 plus 400, 901. So automatically we will get, because those are local address. So that's what we had done. Translate address 540 plus 400, 940. And we load that load address. Similarly, object program we have, first one is the main program, and load address is 900, it is stored, and 900 plus size is 41, so it is a program size. Second object, again we'll have that program object module, that is what we have that translated origin as a 200, and we'll load its size 31, and we had loaded. If it is external, so what to do? External means, so with the example we'll do that algorithm will analyze for the example. So this was the example given, like two programs P and Q. So P is the first program which has the origin at the 500 and loop has in a 501, right? So this is the first program. It's a P program. So and here imagine the load address is 900. Then A is in the location 540. So load address is 900, then definitely A will be in a 540 plus relocation factor, that is what we'll calculate it 400. So 900 plus 540 plus 400, that is what 940 is the address of A. Similarly, loop is 538 plus 400, it is 938, and 501 plus 400, 901 is the address of a loop. So this is what the directly we have this. Here we have external. We have referred the two symbols external, but we have referred only alpha and a max also we have. So we'll get alpha. So it is external. Assembler doesn't know, so it is represented with the 000, right? So this is referred in the line number 518. If it is loaded in a 900 means it is referred in the work area 918. Yeah. Where is the alpha? Alpha is in the second program, the line number 231 means loaded in a program where it is loaded. First program is loaded from 900 to 941. Second program is loaded from 942 to 972. So when loading, I need to get here 972, right? Because it is in a 231th line of this program. 231, 200 starts in the 200, and line number 231 we have the detail of a alpha. Alpha is 25. Yeah, means while loading it should be, first program is loaded from 900 to 920, 72, sorry 941 first program. Second program, Q program, is loaded from 942 to 30 plus 31, that is nothing but 972. So you will get the information of an alpha in a location 972. So algorithm is written like this. You check. So check the algorithm. So this was the algorithm. If external, then work area. Work area is 518 was the alpha referred, but work area is 918 because it is loaded. 918 plus program load address 900 minus load origin 900. So 900 get cancels. 918 plus translated address. So what is the translated address? Minus translate origin. So what is the translated address? Translated address is 231. Translated address is how much? This was the translator given address, 231 minus translated origin. What is that? 200. So what you got? 31. So 918 plus 31. How much? 918 plus 31 is 972. 918 plus 31. You can go with that. Sorry, yeah, 918 plus 31 will get it as 972. Clear? One second, we'll see. Yeah, sorry, work area. You will get as work area is 918 work area, and you will get translated address minus translated origin. So translated address minus translated origin is, translated address we have is for alpha is, alpha translated address is 230, sorry, the work area is 900, that is all load address. 900 plus program load address is 900, load origin is 900. This 900 get cancelled. Here 900 plus translated address is, what is the translated address of alpha? It is translated address is 515 and translated origin is 500. 500 minus 518, that is what? 18, right? So 900 plus 18, 918 is the work area. So I got a work area as, work area means alpha should be referred in while loading in 918, but from where it should refer? It should refer from 972. So we'll calculate that 972 how it is. The algorithm says that search for the symbol from a NTA. So we had NTable table, we had the symbol or N table all have all the symbols and its load address. We already told that. So we have symbol alpha and the load address is, what is the load address of alpha? Load address of alpha is 231, means load address is 972. Alpha containing 972. 900 to 941 program 1, program P, program Q will be from 942 to 972 I told. So what is the load address? 972, right? So you will get the load address from the table. Clear? So take the load address whatever you are having, that is what the load address, plus you need to add with the operand address, whatever the operand address you have. Load address, what you get? 972. You need to add with the operand address. What are the operand address you have in a 915? Operand address is 000 because assembler doesn't know. So 000 plus 972. So what is the address? 972 will go. So in 918 while loading address 918, load address we got from this, right? Load address is 900 plus load origin 900 minus load origin can cancel 900. Translated address is 518 minus translated origin 500. 518 minus 500 is 18. So you get 900 plus 18. 918 is your work area. So to the location 918. Clear? you search the alpha symbol. So where is the alpha symbol? What is the address of the alpha? Alpha address is stored, alpha is loaded. Where the load address is 972. Alpha is loaded in 972 load address. Clear? First program P and Q, I am telling it regularly. P store from 900 to 941 and Q stores from 942 to 972. So load address of alpha is 972. Alpha is in a 31th line. So the load address of alpha detail will be in a 972. So add that, what it is telling, add that address, load address with the operand address field or in the work area. So you got the work area is 918. In that operand address field is 000 because assembler was not known. So 0 plus 972. So how much? 972. So in 918 you need to find out the location of 972 to get the value of alpha. Clear? So that explanation is written over here properly. You can see here P1 has the external reference alpha, right? So which is local in the program Q in a location 9-231. P stored from the location 900 to 941. Yeah, and Q stored thereafter. That is from 941 to 972 alpha is stored. So alpha is referred in the line 231 means 31th line. So it is referred in the line 972 because we will have, you can check for 941 till that we have the first program. Second program is of 31 line. So till 972 we have the second program where the alpha detail is there. Alpha is stored in 914. Here while linking, what it will do? While linking, understood, the load address of alpha is put to the instruction in P, where in the instruction 518. 518 means while loading it is 918. So for the location 518 where it was 000, we put the address of 972. Clear? So this is how we are linking up main program P with program Q. So this was the relocation table of. Relocation table have a local variables, that is what A and loop, whereas link table have local as well as the external. You can see this is local, this is external, this is also external. We have the address, translation address of the symbols. Clear? So read it, it is easy, simple English we have. Understand it properly through the video and read twice. It is easy to score. Algorithm looks difficult, but if you follow the calculation rules, it is easy scoring. Clear? And simple English to understand. So this is how the linking is performed. So relocating and linking. Clear? Link table will be have, relocate table will be have. Link table have the alpha, it's a n table. N table is a link table where symbol name and its address is there. Local address is load address is there. Yeah, so just read 3 times you read, understand, because it's a simple English. Analyze the record video. Yeah, and understood. If you have any doubts, let me know. Check my number and let me know if you have any doubts. Okay. Thank you. We'll see the next in the next slide. Thank you.